Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Little K Artistry. I am Little K, the artist, also known as Kristen, and I welcome you back to my little corner of the art world here at Little K Artistry. I am about to embark on a very blue adventure. I am trying to recreate one of my very favorite blue 5-petal blooms that I did way back. And I am actually hoping to, I'm recreating it with the same colors, but I'm hoping to do a double Dutch bloom this time. And I am using my new pouring medium, my abstract cellism mix, which is very versatile, and I'm so excited, excuse me, I'm so excited to be doing all of these different styles of art with this one mix. I am really loving it. So it does work really well for the abstract cellism. This is not going to be abstract cellism. This is going to be a bloom on a foundation layer of white wall paint. And I am using the PPG Multi Pro for my foundation layer. And like I said, all of my paints are mixed with my abstract cellism mix. And then I am using my top layer. This does not have Australian Floetrol in it. This is not a cell activator. This is just a different, it is a different viscosity. I recently had someone comment on my video telling me to stop repeating myself because there's nothing wrong with saying cell activator because it's not confusing. The point is, for two things. First of all, I am repeating myself, and I'm doing it deliberately because repetition is a convincing argument. And when I was first getting started, which many of you are, I was confused by the term activator because nothing is being activated. There is no chemical reaction. Nothing is being activated. It is simply different weights of the paints depending on the ingredients they are suspended in, and then it causes them to either rise or sink, which causes the cells to form. There's no activation. It's not chemical. It's not chemistry. It's actually the Rayleigh-Taylor instability theory, and it's at work here. So I did want to repeat that again, even though I was told not to, because I'm going to keep doing that because really, it's really important. And there's a reason that I keep repeating myself, and that's why. I want you all to understand there is no chemical reaction. There is no activator. Nothing's being activated. It's just different viscosities. So having said that, I am using my top layer. No Australian Floetrol here. It is the top layer that is in my abstract cellism pouring medium video that I did back along. I am using a different medium than is in that video, but the top layer is exactly the same, and this one is carbon black. Having said that, I will go ahead and get started. This is a 24-inch, and this is a gallery wrapped thick edge canvas. I think it's about 1 to 1.5 inches thick, and I'm starting as I usually do with this style of art with my flow aid, and the point of that is, as the name suggests, it aids in the flow of your paint. And that is why I use it, because when I am using a foundation layer of the house paint tends to be a little bit thicker. And when it's on a dry canvas, it kind of sticks and doesn't move as freely as it could. And what I discovered, thanks to the incomparable Rinsky Dania, who also uses flow aid on many of her canvases, is it does aid in the flow of the foundation house paint. So it helps it to move on the canvas a little bit smoother. And this is fluid art, so we do want it to move. Otherwise, it would be stationary art, which I also do, but that's called texture art, and that's in a different video. It's not this video, you guys. It's a different video. So if you are new to my channel, welcome. Welcome aboard. If you're coming back, welcome back. So delighted to have you here with all of my weirdness. And honestly, you guys, I have to tell you, my personality, some of you may get this, some of you may not. I'm in my 50s, I'm an 80s girl, I'm Gen X, and I really feel like my life's motto is to tell me what I can't do is to tell me what I will do. So it's probably not a good philosophy to have, but there you go. That it is what it is. Okay, here is my PPG Multi Pro. I just put it into these smaller containers because it is a lot easier for me to handle, and I don't have to hold a big gallon paint can in front of the camera and over my canvas when I'm trying to paint. So I just transfer it into these little smaller containers. Works really well that way. And I can tell you, partly the reason why I do that is because I have spilled those big gallon paints before. And let me tell you, it makes a mess. So I try to stay away from having those anywhere near my canvases if I can avoid it, because I already make a mess with the paints and I don't really want to make a mess with the foundation layer too. So I try and keep the gallons away from my canvases. All right. Put a little bit more of this down just because you want to make sure you have a good amount. Don't skimp on your foundation layer. This stuff, as compared to some of the other ingredients that I use, this stuff is fairly inexpensive for a gallon. I think it's maybe $16 a gallon, something like that, at the Home Depot where I get it. Okay, so I'm going to spin this just a little bit, and you'll see how quickly that foundation layer spreads out, and that is because of the Flow Aid. So thank you, Flow Aid. And I think I'm just going to tip it a little bit here and there just to encourage it to move a little more. Get it a little bit closer to the edges, and then we'll go ahead and start layering our actual colors. I have 4 blues, a gold and a black. And as I said at the start of this video, this is me trying to recreate my very favorite Dutch style bloom that I ever did in the same colors. And I say it's a Dutch style bloom. This is not a true Dutch bloom, because a true Dutch bloom was created by Renske Douwnya using just paint and water. This does have pouring medium in it. So like I said before, it's not a true Dutch bloom. It is a Dutch style bloom. And this uses my pouring medium recipe. I don't like to call it a recipe. I'll call it a mix. All right, and there you have it. I'll maybe put a little extra on there as we get going. Okay, I do want this to be relatively centered, so I am going to put the bulk of the paints right here in the middle, and then as I blow them out, I'm going to blow the 5 petals, and then I'm going to do double petals. I call this my flower power. It's just the little, I think it's the little travel sized one. It's just blue and yellow. It looks like a little flower. I don't remember the actual name of it, but I got it on Amazon. Okay, here we go. No more procrastinating. It's always very nerve-wracking when I first put the paint on the canvas. So it makes me a little nervous. Okay, this is the Prussian blue. We're going to start with Prussian. Prussian blue is gorgeous. One of my very favorite blues. You guys, I really like blue. So, like, a lot of blues are my favorites. Prussian just has a quality about it. I can't really describe what it is. It's almost like a slate, like a grayish blue. It's so gorgeous. And this is phthalo blue, and this is the green shade. Try not to splatter blue all over the place there. I don't want it everywhere. Okay, I wonder if you guys can guess this blue. This is a really royal, rich looking, bright blue. Can anybody guess what that blue is? Can you guess out there before I tell you? This is Winsor Newton Windsor blue. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it's so rich looking. That's Windsor blue. Gorgeous. See, that Prussian blue next to the Windsor blue almost looks green. It's so interesting. So interesting. And then the last one I'm going to do, the last blue, is actually teal. And that is going to go around the outside edge. We're going to put the teal out here to make like a ring around all those other blues. Beautiful teal ring. And the point of that is hopefully to give some definition to the petals once I get them blown out. Every time I do this, I have to tell myself in my head, flowers are not perfect. Don't be a perfectionist. Just get the paint on the canvas. But I don't like to rush this part. I do have a little OCD. I try to get the circle to be perfect. I know it's my problem. I know. If anybody out there can relate, please do comment below. Tell me I'm not the only one. Please. I do have, well, I had some. Oh, for heaven's sakes, I can't find my tweezers, you guys. And there's something in my paint. All right, well, let's see if I can fish it out with that. I can't find my tweezers. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, okay. Okay, so that is Prussian blue, phthalo blue green shade, Winsor blue, teal on the outside, and then I'm going to put a little TLP Harvest Gold because I want some sparkle. A little bit of sparkle in the middle. And then on top of that, I will put my cell maker, which is my top layer. And you'll see, as it says on my little thing here, top layer. Does not say cell activator because nothing is being activated. I'm going to drill that into you guys' heads. It's not an activator. It's just a top layer. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Are you ready? I'm ready. All right. 5 petals, hopefully, and then I'll do doubles, hopefully. We'll see. You never know. All right, so 2 that way and then 3 this way. Okay, now I'm going to attempt to do doubles. That one kind of already has a double. Let's see. Oh my, that's kind of pretty. All right, take my trusty little dotting tool here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of defining of the petals, just a tiny bit. I'm going to use this bigger portion here. And I'm just pulling some of the white in so that it gives it the appearance of a separate petal. Okay. Now I'm going to go and just define this top part a little bit. I have had so many comments, you guys, so many comments. Thank you so much for the comments. Some of you have said that I go too slow. Some of you say that I go too fast. Can't make people happy. I am quite deliberate. There's more than one reason. Mainly, this is my therapy and I don't rush it. But also, I know how expensive these canvases and these paints and the ingredients are, so I don't like to waste them. Mostly, it's my therapy. And I love to take my time and just make it as pretty as I can. Because I know what's going to happen with this design is I'm going to start stretching it and it's going to be beautiful. So I want to be very deliberate with where I'm putting things. Okay, I'm going to spin just a little and then I will likely need to push some of the white back a little. Move my paint bottles. Really pushing the limit of what my table can do when I do a 24-inch canvas. But I just love them so much. Okay, now as you can see, there's less movement on that side. Let me see, this is my round spinner, so I'm not sure how far I can take it. I think I can take it a little further here. I just don't want to spin it and have it go flying off the canvas, whoa, yeah, see, there's the limit right there. That's the only thing with this spin. This is my spinner that I made, you guys, so it holds 24 inches, but it does not really let you move it around very much. My other spinner that takes larger canvases is under the table. I did not pull that one out today. All right, so let me see. I'm going to put a little bit more here. And a little bit more here. And the weight of this will pull the rest of it off, I think. Let's see. If not, I'll just come in with my tool and scrape it, move it to the edges a little bit. That's moving now. This is definitely going to be a little bit off center because the puddle wasn't quite in the middle, and I can see these petals are going a little bit more off the side. And that is okay. Flowers aren't perfect, right? Just like people. They are beautifully imperfect. Oh, there's some blue there. A little blue there. All right, so we're going to spin for a bit. Hopefully you can see now why I'm calling it a double Dutch bloom, because it has double petals. Doesn't look at it at first glance, but it does. I won't need any more of that. This color combination is so beautiful. Just so beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go the other way. That hit my leg? It did. It's a hazard of this art medium. It spun off paint all over you. Good thing I don't mind. Okay, don't need that anymore. I don't need that anymore. I like to clean up as I go. That bothers some people because I'm always puttering around and picking up, but you know what? It's what I do. I like to clean as I go. And there goes my flag. Sorry about that. There goes my hairdryer. Oh well. All right. And we'll spin the other way. I'm just going to keep spinning this. I might actually spin the petals right off the edge. I don't know yet. But I'm really loving how it looks so far. There's a little spot that looks like I might need to put a tiny bit more paint on it because it's right there. It's not really sliding very much. So I'm going to stop it and put a little bit more paint on that one corner. You can see right there where it's almost bare canvas. Not sure how that happened. Okay, that'll be good. All right. Oh, this is so pretty. Oh, goodness. I'm trying to get the center of the bloom in the center of my spinner, but it's because it's only a 24 by 24, so it doesn't have a center bar. It comes off really easily. All right, let's go this way a little more. Okay, let's try that, I think. Scoot it this way a little more. Okay, let's try that. We'll just keep spinning. Like Dory said, just keep spinning, just keep spinning. What do? We spin. I don't know what to say. Sorry about that. You know, if the camera wasn't running and I wasn't talking to you guys, I would be doing the very same thing. I sing to myself all the time. I also sing for others. Probably shouldn't, but I do. I do enjoy a karaoke night here and there. Wow, this is pretty. It does need to spin a little bit more because there's still a bit of paint on the canvas and it's not taking up quite as much space as I want it to. So we're going to keep spinning. It's just glorious that those blues are playing so nicely together. I do want to stop and check the center because it does look like some of the top layer is still pooled in the center. So I might need to go in there with my dotting tool and just pull up a little bit to try and get that top layer to sink a little more. All right, stretch a little more. So one petal is off now. Looks like at least two will go off. Possibly a third, but I doubt it. And that's okay. For some people, this is the part that's like the most frustrating because this does take the most amount of time. Again, I don't rush it. I figure, what's the point? I'm in here, I'm painting. There's no point in rushing it. It's going to happen. Okay, so two petals are off now. Looks like we're close to a third, possibly a fourth. I might just keep spinning it. See what happens. Maybe we can get all 5 of them off. I don't know. Doesn't matter either way. It's still beautiful. Now, some people will say, with this bloom technique, the magic is in how you blow out the petals. Well, there's no magic in it, but yes, there is a knack to it, trying to blow them out as evenly as possible. But I also believe that the spinning is equally, if not more, important, because this is where you get to decide how much of that composition moves and in which directions. And that's really also very key to the overall look of the painting, in my opinion. And so you can see that top layer has done its work. It's made some cells and it's almost disappeared. It's mostly just blues and silvers now, and that's the goal. You want the top layer to sink and form the cells and then mostly, not totally, but mostly disappear. Okay, I want to spin that a little bit more and this a little bit more. That one's probably not going anywhere really much, but I do want to see if I can spin these a little bit. And then I might tweak these guys with my catalyst wedge. Maybe. Let's see. Let me spin this a little more. The cells in the middle, the blue, are just so beautiful. And then the big stretchy ones. So give a shout out. Let me know from where in the world you're watching. Give me a comment. Let me know how you are enjoying the channel and the content. And if you love this painting, if you like these colors, if you want to try it too. Or whatever else you want to say. Keep it nice, please. This is a safe space for everybody. And do hit the subscription, please. That would be wonderful. And then hit the bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. I do post pretty regularly, but I wouldn't want you to miss something. Okay, I think I want to do one more spin, see if I can get this one to go off just a tiny bit, and then I'm going to tweak them. So you can see how small the composition of the flower was in the very center when I first started, and that's why you use that foundation layer of the house paint, because the house paint's really stretchy. So whatever you do as far as your composition goes on the top layer, then you stretch out that foundation and it goes over the edge, and as it goes, obviously, it takes the colors with it. So whatever your composition is, you get to stretch it as much as you would like. And I'm almost done stretching this one. Teeny tiny bit more. That one's almost where I want it, not quite. Oh, this one is so lovely. I know it would be. I've used this color combination so many times now. It never fails. It never fails. I can't help myself. I want to do one more. Just because these two are so close to. Let's do one more. Let's spin one more. Okay. Oh, I love it. I love it. I actually don't even want to mess with these. I really like the fact that it's kind of hanging off this side a little bit. And I really want to spin it one more time. Okay, you guys, I know I said that was the last spin, but I think it's got one more in it. Hold on. I know I'm probably making you guys dizzy. I apologize. I'm making myself a little dizzy. Honestly, I'm going to look down at the table for a second. Getting a little dizzy in here. Woo! Okay, that is almost. It's almost. Look at that. It's almost. Look at that. So close. So close and yet so far away. So close. It is so close. Oh, it's so close. Okay. I'm so sorry. My weird is showing. Alright. I'll tuck that back in a little bit before I scare you guys off. Okay. That is just fine. Just the way it is. Yep. Don't want to tweak that anymore. Okay, I am going to scrape the edges. I think I've explained this to you guys before. But there again, as I said when I opened this video, repetition is a convincing argument. And I figure if I tell you guys this stuff enough times, you'll remember. So, when you have a composition that you really like, and it's just absolutely the way you want it, and some of it's hanging over the edge or close to hanging over the edge, if you have paint dripping off your canvas, the weight of the dripping paint will continue to pull your composition. So this is why you'll see me always scraping the edges, especially once I get my composition the way that I want. That is why I do that, because I don't want the weight of these paints on the side, especially these deep edged canvases. There's a lot of paint weight there, and I don't want that weight to change my composition. Once I get it the way I want it to stay that way. So that's why, it's not just because I'm cleaning up because I have OCD, that's part of it too. That's probably a big part of it. But the main part of it is because I don't want the composition to move anymore. So I'm scraping the edges to get the weight of the paint to stop pulling the composition off the edge. So that's why I do that. Really important step if you have your composition the way that you want it and you don't want it to move. And I have my composition the way I want it, and I don't want it to move. So I'm just scooning it to the edges to make sure that it's at the very edge on each side, the very edge of my spinner. And then I'm going to scrape, and you can see I've scraped it once, but there's still paint coming off of it. And that paint will continue to pull. So I got to keep scraping to make sure that paint stops pulling my composition off the edge, because especially over on this side where the blue ones are coming off the canvas, I don't want them to distort the rest of the picture. Hopefully that makes sense. It's a pretty simple concept. It's just that heavy house paint. You don't want it to pull the rest of your picture off. Just to save the integrity of what you worked so hard on. You don't want it to go sliding off the edge of your canvas. Okay, I think that's got most of it. All right, you guys, what do you think of this pretty picture? I think it's so pretty. So I think I'm gonna leave it the way that it is because I like the composition with it hanging off that edge a little bit and kind of off center. So this is definitely the top, I think. And that's definitely the bottom. And you can see there, the smaller, this one got a little bit lost in the white paint, but you can see the smaller inside petals and the larger outside petals. And I'm going to come over there and give you guys a close-up so that you can see all the cells and the prettiness close up. There's the middle. See all those beautiful cells? And you can see, or rather you can't see, the black top layer because it's pretty much sunken in. And that's what we want. And then you can see all the beautiful petals and the double petals there. That one's my favorite. There, so pretty. Okay, I'm going to zoom out. There you go. There it is. What do you guys think? Drop a comment. Let me know what you think of this one. I'm very happy with the way that it came out. There you have it. I did not even need to use my torch because that PPG Multi-Pro foundation layer is just so good. There was no bubbles in it. And any bubbles that might have been in the colors just disappeared when I did the stretching. So if you do find when you're doing this style of art and you are using a foundation layer, especially a white foundation layer, if you're noticing a whole bunch of little white dots, that is the bubbles in your foundation layer popping. And when they pop up through your colors. So if you're finding that you have a whole bunch, like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I can see 4, well, there's 5. So this base layer, foundation layer, whatever you want to call it, had 0 bubbles in it. And like I said, I had mixed the colors for a while, so they'd been sitting for a while. So any bubbles that were in those dissipated. And if there were any left, I stretched them out. So if you're finding that your paintings, especially the ones that you stretch a lot, have a whole bunch of white dots in them, it's the bubbles that are being popped. And if you look sideways at your painting, you can see you'll be able to see the bubbles. But if you mix your paints a day or 2, sometimes 48 hours ahead of time, let the bubbles dissipate. You can take your bottles, if you have bubbles in them, and tap them like that. That helps to bring the bubbles to the top. And then once you see, you're like, oh man, there's a whole bunch of bubbles, you can take your torch and just, like, see, this one has some bubbles in it. So you can take your torch and go like that, and it will pop all of the bubbles on the top. And then just let it sit, and then you can tap it again, just like that, and the bubbles will come right to the surface, and then just torch it again, and the bubbles will pop. And you can do that until there's no more bubbles. Or just let them sit, and definitely let your foundation paint, your house paint, sit as long as possible. And if you do have to stir it because it tends to separate, stir just round. Don't go up and down, and don't stir, like if you're whipping cream, don't do that, because when you whip cream, for all you ladies or gentlemen out there who cook and whip cream, the whole point of whipping cream is to introduce air bubbles. So you don't want to whip any kind of your paints. You want to just stir very smoothly. And that's what I do with this. And sometimes if I find this has been sitting in here for a little while and it might have separated, I simply just twist the container like that. And just the movement of twisting and turning the paint, sort of like a cement mixing truck, it will just turn it really gently, and it stirs it without adding bubbles. So just a couple of little tips that I've learned along the way. I'm eager to hear what you guys have to say about this one, if you like this one. And I might be adding some texture to it, because now that I've been playing with texture, I can't not add texture to things because I love it so much. But thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much for the comments and for all the love and support as I have been going through some stuff with family, the passing of my mother the day before Mother's Day, and my stepfather was in the hospital over Father's Day. This is the 22nd of June that I'm recording this. He's still in critical care, and he's looking at another surgery. So I appreciate you guys all for hanging with me and hanging in there while I am in and out of live videos and or talking in the videos. And just thank you so much. I've had emails and messages and comments, and you all just been so sweet. So thank you very much. If you do want to email me, it's just littlekartistry@gmail.com. That's my email address. It's in the information of my channel too. So I want to hear what you guys think of this beautiful blue. I love it just the way that it is, but I might have to fidget with it. Because I can't help myself. So thank you so much for joining me and hanging out with my weirdness. And I hope you love this piece. I appreciate you. And I just want to say once again, this is Little K Artistry. I am coming to you again to remind you and encourage you and invite you to go make the art. You will be so glad you did.